everybody. What a beautiful day here in Scotia, Halifax Harbor. And before we get started with our mass ice bucket challenge, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on Mi'kmaq, the unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And in the spirit of the treaties of peace and friendship, which were signed in 1725, we are on their territory and welcome you all to the Ice Bucket Challenge.
I am humbled by the turnout and the passion that's resonating here today. While today is meant to be a positive and uplifting event filled with hope and community spirit, ALS is a very serious disease that I want to tell you a bit about for those that might not know. ALS destroys the motor neurons, which are an important link to the nervous system. Motor neurons send messages to your voluntary muscles, those you control like your arms, your legs, your hands, as opposed to involuntary muscles like your heart. ALS is a fatal disease that takes away a person's ability to move, speak, and eventually breathe. The average lifespan for people living with ALS from the time of diagnosis is 2 to 5 years. Right now, while there's no cure for ALS or ways to slow down the disease, we have seen some great progress ever since the first Ice Bucket Challenge all the way back in 2014. And we hope that with the efforts of the 10-year anniversary, while we're all here today, that we can continue to make some great progress.
Wonderful to be with all of you here today on this beautiful Halifax waterfront sunny August morning. Now, your t-shirts say it's the 10th anniversary, and I'm just remembering back to the first time I saw a crazy person on the internet dump a bucket of ice water on their head 10 years ago. If you remember that moment, and it took off like wildfire, didn't it? And I remember reflecting with friends, like, what would make people dig into that? Why would they do that? Which led many of us, and maybe including people here today, to read about ALS and to understand more about what it is. And of course, as soon as you learn about the devastating impact that ALS has on an individual and of course their family and their support systems, it was understandable that so many people, in fact, I believe it's 17 million people in 10 years have dumped these buckets on their heads. So you're in good company today. Congratulations.
Thank you to each and every one of you who are here today to participate in the 10th anniversary of the Ice Bucket Challenge. It's a special and a very powerful moment. We're celebrating the awareness that came from the original Ice Bucket Challenge. Prior to 2014, people would tell me all the time, none of my friends know what ALS is. My family doesn't know what ALS is. I feel really alone. Well, that's not the way anymore, is it? Everyone remembers the Ice Bucket Challenge and knows the struggle, maybe not firsthand, but they understand a part of the struggle. Our efforts, the efforts worldwide, and here in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, have funded pivotal research, leading to the discovery of 5 new genes associated with ALS. 5. Scientists can begin to understand what causes motor neurons to die. Right now, not to cure, we're not close to that yet, but we are close to slowing progression. And then one day, if we keep funding research, if we keep fighting, we will fund a cure. Thanks to your support and support worldwide, Canadians have contributed to an 11-country research collaboration. It's called Project Mine, M-I-N, capital E. Look it up when you go home. It's an amazing project. We have 3 Canadian scientists that are part of the leadership team that are working on this Project Mine. Their hope is to map the DNA of 15,000 people with ALS worldwide, including 2,000 Canadians, and then several thousand people without ALS. This is an unprecedented collaboration, and it's bolstered by our Canadian scientists, and it's paving the way towards understanding and eventually overcoming this devastating disease. As you know, the fight is far from over. Our work must continue. That's what today is about. Our work must continue. We have to sustain this momentum of research and support. And not to use a pun, but really research is a bottomless bucket. Research leads to other discoveries all the time. We can always use money for research, and it's never funded enough. The funds raised from the 10th anniversary of the Ice Bucket Challenge will be split between research and client services. 50% of the funds will be used to restore our inventory of breathing equipment. We loan out 3 types of breathing equipment, and if people were to purchase that on their own, it would cost them well over $10,000. And almost everyone with ALS will, at some point, use some breathing equipment. 50% will support Project Mine, and 50% will be used right here in Halifax to support the Brain Repair Centre. I bet you didn't know you had scientists working on neurological diseases in Halifax, did you? And we'd like to welcome a group from the Brain Repair Centre today. Everyone put their hands up from the Brain Repair Centre. Thank you very much. The Brain Repair Centre has been a wonderful support to the ALS Society.
Today, as we stand to take on the World's Ice Bucket Challenge, we want to remember why we're here. For all the families affected by ALS, for the researchers dedicating their lives to finding a cure, and for the belief that together we can truly make a difference.